Yeah, he was right.
Tried to call you on the telephone, I didn't make it past 3 rings. I tried to think of the perfect things to say to you after the beat. Well, I'm sorry that I'm drunk, I'm sorry what I said, I'm sorry for anything I ever did. But you ain't called back, so I guess I'll get some sleep. And I'm waiting patiently, but you're done and it's plain to see that I messed up too much. I guess I cut my loss. And oh well, I'm drunk as hell. Guess it's so long, darling, I wish you well. And I'll take my goddamn phone and shut it off. Well, I'm just tired of being just another missed call. Call me back, you would have only made things worse. I always try to get the last word in when you didn't even like the first. And now I'm begging, baby, please, you're begging me to leave. You don't want anything to do with me, and I guess you finally hit me where it hurts. And I'm waiting patiently, but you're done and it's plain to see that I messed up too much. I guess I'll cut my loss. And oh well, I'm drunk as hell. Guess it's so long, darling, I wish you well. And I'll take my goddamn phone and shut it off. Well, I'm just tired of being just another missed call. Safe to say I won't make it past 3 rings. I'm pretty done finding words to say to you after the beep. And I've waited patiently, but you're done and it's plain to see that I messed up too much. Guess I'll cut my loss. And oh well, I'm drunk as hell. Guess it's so long, darling, I wish you well. And I'll take my goddamn phone and shut it off. Well, I'm just tired of being just another missed call. Yeah, I'm just another missed call.
And this is where things start to get real. So let's go over the game plan. So when it comes to hunting small parcels, your goal is to be either a food plot or a bedding area. And if you're not that, your next goal is to make sure that they pass through your parcel on the way to those spots. So where did we go wrong last year? And that question drills down mostly to the early season. During the early season, we hunted mornings. And on top of that, we only hunted 2 spots. And when we hunted those 2 spots, we didn't play the wind. And the result from these 3 factors is that it really burnt out those 2 stands. And we didn't see a lot of movement until we set up new stands on other parts of the property. On top of that, when they were still in their food-focused phase, we stopped putting out corn weekly during the season. We also held out for big bucks instead of taking does early on, which would have increased the rutting potential of the bucks in the area. So we want to change by only hunting afternoons during the bow season. We want to try to tag out on does as fast as possible to help that doe to buck ratio once that rut starts. We also set out more feeders with weekly corn from April until the acorn started to fall, because that's when we start noticing them move away from that corn based diet. We also started with mock scrapes, and all these things were spread out across the property with their own cameras. We also set up more blinds and stands, each meant for a different wind direction so that we're always playing the wind and we don't burn out certain stands. So I took data points on every time there was a confirmed deer on the trail cam. I took down the date, the time, when corn was put out, whether we messed with the scrapes, what buck it was, whether it was a fawn or a full-grown deer. And then the green denotes that it was seen between sunrise and sunset, where the yellow is still within what would be shooting light if it was season. And then I took all those data points and I summarized it to figure out where they would be at what time to pattern their movement across our small parcel of land. And that movement pattern kind of showed me where they were bedding and where they were feeding based upon what time they were being seen. We had a couple goals. One was to try to take a velvet buck in Tennessee. We wanted to take a deer at the hand load, both of 308 and 300 blackout. Put down 2 of the injured deer on the property. Take a deer out with a compound bow. Get Jack his first buck and get Captain Blake on his first deer. Last but not least, here's our residential bucks going from smallest to largest. This is how it went.
I got 10 problems down in Tennessee, and I ain't got the time to fix them all. Skip breakfast at Tiffany's for a little sermon with Bethany. Now I'm sitting at a bar on 17th and I'm gone. With them cold ones coming and that smoke filling up my lungs, I got fuck you money, girl, come on and get you some. And it's hard to walk a straight line when they curving up them jeans. I'm just looking for the right one, but them wrong ones keep looking at me. Straight out of Louisiana.
How did velvet season go? Not great. My compound bow hadn't made it in yet, and despite it being absolutely gorgeous, I got eaten up by bugs. And we didn't see much, so yeah, check this out. There you go. It's about sunrise for the first morning sit that I planned to do. It's raining, which should temper down my sit a little bit. Hopefully, the wind's not too crazy today. Hopefully we can get something to get on video. Alright, day 2, round 3. We're doing an evening set. Saw some this morning. Nothing that was a shooter. Hopefully the tripod will produce like it always does. Like I said on the last sit, there's not much with headgear. However, the fawns were everywhere. You had to be careful going through the grass because these things were like landmines, just laying around every 10 steps.
Heads Carolina, tails California. Maybe she'd fall for a boy from South Georgia. She's got the bar in the palm of her hand. She's a 90s country fan.
I went back during normal season and it was back to its usual. Deer everywhere. I can see why Tennessee has a 5 doe a day limit. It's quite insane. I ended up doubling up on these two guys, and this fat bastard decided to go die in the most inconvenient spot. Even the Polaris struggled to get it out. Once my compound bow got in, I had to start prepping for bow season. Plenty of practice. 40 to 60 arrows a day just to make sure all my stuff is up to snuff. Ah! Hard work pays off, but in the long run. The first night out, I let this little buck walk just to spook a whole herd of does. Second sit wasn't much better. To start, I had this thing walk out 20 yards broadside.
Spared by the company mind. It's my blue-eyed baby with a best dress on in the shadow of a lonely pine.
And the feeder goes off and scared it.
These hills grew wild and free. Me and baby, we'd hide in the hollows.
Thought I had a buzzard beater right here, but yeah, clean miss. Maybe third time's the charm. Alright, third bow hunt. It was bright sunny, but now it's looking like it's gonna thunderstorm, so I'm gonna hunker down and hope I don't get hit by fucking lightning.
I signed up back in '61 and I'm an
After the storm, I let this small bachelor group walk.
From Manassas to McConaughey, all the way to Sailor's Creek, fighting for my homeland. I've been 4 years gone and all hope lost in Richmond under siege. And we're digging out 5 forks waiting in the rain for Sheridan to bring us to our knees. So take me home, Lone Pine Hill. There's a strange moon hanging overhead tonight. And if the rain keeps coming, then the creek's gonna rise. But with the good Lord's grace,
Captain Blake and I made it happen by nailing typical 6 with my compound bow. Just smoked one 10-half time. It went down right over here.
so God grant me speed, grant me forgiveness, and carry me all through the night. Take me through your hills and over your rivers, away from this awful fight. 'Cause I ain't never known a man that's ever owned another, and ain't never owned nothing of my own. So after 4 long years, I just can't tell you what the hell I've been fighting for. So take me home. Lone Pine.
So yeah, 1 down for the season. I got really good at hand loading.
No power tools. You know what I forgot? To brush my teeth. That is not your toothbrush.
In all reality, we hand loaded some 110CXs and went out to see which powder charge worked the best. With those hand loads, we actually got Daniel on the board. Merp. 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 Oh, let's go. Holy shit, that's a little spike. Thank you, buddy. Thank you. Double lung right there. Perfect shot. Let's go. Ended up doubling up that day, actually. Oddly enough, both of these bucks were bucks that I had never seen on the property before, which made me start to think that the rut has started. I ended up recovering one of those CXs, and oddly enough, it had a 68% weight retention, which is lower than what they advertised. It makes me think either A, it hit something and fragmented in the body, or B, my load's just a little bit too hot. So this turned out to be a lot easier than I thought, due to a trend you might started to have noticed by now. We haven't seen any of our residential bucks since the start of bow season, and almost all the does have disappeared, and the property is now full of 1.5 to 2.5-year-old bucks from God knows where. This guy popped out upwind of us, and he was going to keep going in a direction that would not even present a shot. So I hit him with the grunt call a couple times, and he turned and beelined straight towards us, to where I was able to serve him up to Jack on a silver platter. Merp. Merp.
So I loaded up them bales in my pick-em-up truck, headed west for Dallas, where I would try my luck. I didn't have a notion if I could sell them there. 30 minutes later, I was a millionaire. Bales of cocaine falling from no flying plane. I don't know who done dropped them.
Once again, another buck that I hadn't seen all summer.
Cocaine falling like pouring rain. My life changed completely by the low flying planes. Oh, let's fly, Jimbo.
On a side note, Jack went out all by himself and got him a doe. Do you know what to do with it? No. But did he get one? Yeah. Never got that velvet buck. However, I did go back over Thanksgiving and I did double up on 2 pretty nice bucks. We could not get the 308 hand load narrowed down in time, but both Daniel and I did take a deer with the 300 blackout hand load. We ended up getting one of the 2 injured deer. Owen shot it on the opening day. I did take a deer with a compound bow. That we did with Captain Blake. Captain Blake was unable to get his first deer, but Jack did get his first buck. I want to make some notes on these changes. It worked. There were several times last season where we'd go out and we would see nothing. However, with us making these changes, there was very rarely a time where we went out there and we didn't see a single deer. Almost every hunt, we saw something. It just really got down to whether or not it was something that we could or wanted to take. That's it. Stay tuned for some fishing content that's coming out pretty soon and the duck season video. So far, duck season's been pretty lame, but hopefully that'll change.